guys, it's Happy Conscious Gal here. I haven't been vlogging for about 10 days. Anyway, I'm here on my writing break in Surfers Paradise in Queensland in the north of Australia. And I am supposed to be writing right now, but I've been going all morning. It's now 1 p.m. and I just needed to have a break. And I was in procrastination mode, and I went onto MyFitnessPal and I was reading what people were writing, and I just suddenly thought, oh bugger it, I'm just going to do a quick vlog on my computer and upload it because a lot's been happening here, and I think I probably need to unload a little bit of it, which is always a really good way to help me process stuff. It's been a very strange 9 days here. It's been incredibly productive. I've gotten tons of writing done. I think I've written about 5 chapters. Most days it's been nice weather except for the last 2 days, so most days I've managed to go for a walk on the beach for about an hour, which has been gorgeous, get my body moving a little bit. Obviously yesterday and today I haven't because it's been horrible storms. I'm feeling pretty calm. It's been interesting managing phase 3 while I've been here. I think I'm on the 4th week of phase 3, which really means I could be doing phase 4 at this point, but because I'm here and because I'm sitting so much and not really moving, I'm snacking a lot. You know, when your brain's going running, I get hungry. And I just am in such a habit of snacking while I write. It's extraordinary. So I thought if I at least keep it completely low carb, then I can't get into too much trouble while I'm in this writing hibernation. So where we are is probably the most conservative, mainstream fast food capital of Australia. Basically, those of you in the States, imagine Las Vegas, but compressed into a much smaller radius, all high-rise buildings, 12, 15 stories high, packed next to each other, building, and the only food is like malls, fast food, you know, Hard Rock Cafe. I mean, it's disgusting. And we are actually at an apartment that my uncle owns. He very generously let us stay here. I'm very grateful for it because, I don't know if you can see if I show you with my computer, but it's a very lovely, white, calm space, perfect for writing. So inside the apartment is perfect for writing, but outside the apartment is a nightmare. We're on the 12th floor and we have a view of, actually I'm going to show you with my laptop. It's extremely overcast today. There's the sea. I've got a tiny little view of the ocean, which I love. I've got my desk sitting looking at that. And then out here is just massive skyscrapers in all directions. Anyway, but the point is we're at like the middle of Surfers Paradise, the absolute center. In fact, if you go down 12 stories to the ground, you find yourself in a mall, the main mall here in Surfers Paradise. So basically, the foundation of my house is a mall. So for me, who's like a raw food, health-conscious nature being, this is a big test. When we first got here, the noise coming through the walls from the city, the flashing lights on all the buildings, the music coming from all the buildings, it's basically like nightclub land. The noise coming from the street. I just walked in and I thought, oh my God, I can't handle it here. I actually cannot stay here for the next 2 weeks. What am I going to do? But interestingly, I have been able to block the noise out. Sometimes I have music on, sometimes I don't. But it sort of faded into the background, and I did notice my energy get very agitated the first few days. You know, my boyfriend and I don't normally fight very much, but we were fighting. I was feeling really irritable, and I realized it was the energy here, which is so frenetic and fast-paced and disconnected from nature and very much ego, head energy. There's not much heart stuff happening here. And I really was exhausted. I mean, I know I said to you guys I'm going to practice going to bed early when I'm away. That also has all turned out to be irrelevant because where we are, it doesn't matter what time I go to bed. Even if I go to bed early, I wake up exhausted. It's just the energy here. It does not work for me. So what I've been learning is to eat really healthy food. So that's been the first piece. I was very lucky that I knew that there would be only supermarket food here and I don't eat that. So actually about probably a third of our weight of our luggage was food that I brought up with me from Melbourne. So I had this whole bag full of like coconut oil and really good quality nuts, you know, green powders to put in my smoothie, you know, chia seeds, LSA, linseed, sunflower almond mix, you know, just every health conscious, hippie, raw foodie stuff that you could find that you could take on a plane is what I had in my suitcase. It's pretty funny. You know, natural peanut butter, organic cocoa powder. It was just hilarious. So I got here, and then obviously the vegetables have to come from the supermarket, which is heartbreaking, but managed to find some free-range eggs in the supermarkets, picked a few fruits and vegetables that didn't seem too horrendous. And, you know, we've been eating really well here. Like, I've been making my own food, obviously, because I'm not going to go out here. It's all junk food. But I've been having a big smoothie for breakfast with lots of healthy things. Every healthy thing that I brought with me thrown in. A little bit of green powder, some stevia, blend it all up, drink it. I even chuck a raw egg in for some protein and some protein powder. I brought that with me too. I don't really care what my smoothies taste like as long as I can get them down, because then I know I've got lots of energy for the rest of the day. That's just how I start my day. It always has been. So on phase 3 I can do that. Then for lunch I might have a salad with some tuna or an omelette, something I make here. And then for dinner I'll have a big stir fry with some prawns or some tempeh or something. So that's been good. My snacks, as I said, I'm eating a lot while I'm writing. I've been snacking on nuts. I've been snacking on a bit of goat's cheese. I have been having quite a bit of chocolate delight. I discovered that if you put crunchy peanut butter in it, it's really yummy. I found some edamame soybeans somewhere, I think a health food shop somewhere. Snacked on them. So, you know, hot teas, herbal teas. I just feel like I constantly eat while I write. It's hopeless. But anyway, so I've been sticking with low carb. My weight has been fairly consistent since I've been here. My LIW was 65 kilos, but I pretty quickly went up to 66 within about a week of that, through the whole birthday party fiasco and everything. I've pretty much stayed around there since I've been here for the last 10 days. I've gone, you know, 65.7 up to 66.2, now 65.7, 66.2, around in that half a kilogram mark, which is about a 1 pound variation. So I'm pretty happy with that. I would like to get back to my LIW, but I don't think that's going to happen until I'm able to exercise. I still actually haven't exercised throughout the whole of HCG, other than a few walks on the beach here. When I get back to Melbourne, I plan to start back at my gym, which I haven't been at for quite a long time. I'll tell you all about that later, but anyway, that's the plan. I'm going to go every second day, so I'm sure I'll come back to my LIW pretty quickly. But for now, given how much I'm eating, how constantly I'm snacking, I'm pretty happy. I have been ruthless with the low carb aspect of the food, even though I'm eating a lot. The other thing that's really been helping me is just this awareness of the energy here, and just really making a constant choice in each moment to come back to my heart, to come back to my center, to take a breath. You know, when my partner and I found ourselves fighting because it's so stressful here, we just turn and look into each other's eyes and come back to our love for each other, and that's really been very quickly breaking the spell. And then we actually had 2 days where we took a break from our writing, and luckily my uncle has a car here, and I'm really grateful for that, because it meant we actually had the chance to get away for a day or two. We drove down the coast. It's only 1 hour down to a part of Australia called Byron Bay, which many of you may have heard of. It's kind of like the hippie capital of Australia, stunning beaches, a lot of tourists, a lot of backpackers. Anyway, around that town there's a whole countryside. And a lot of people have been suggesting to us that maybe we might want to live there, because my partner's American from California, I'm Australian. We were living in Hawaii in a very conscious community there. Much as I love Melbourne, all my friends and families are there. It's one of the most funkiest cultured cities in the world. 5 million people, fashion, amazing food. It is a city. It has a lot of crazy energy, a lot of pollution, and I have been noticing I'm much more tired there than I was in Hawaii, where there's so much fresh air. So I loved Hawaii, but there wasn't enough culture there for me. You know, I like cafes and bookshops and art galleries, and I need a place that has nature and culture. And there's not that many of those around. So a lot of people told us that Byron Bay might be a good place for us to settle, and I've only ever been to the town. I haven't been to the surrounding areas. Alan's never been there at all. So we drove down the other day for 2 days, and honestly, We had tears in our eyes almost the whole time we were there because we felt so happy. We felt so at home. The ocean there is just as stunning as here, but there's none of the high-rise craziness. These little buildings, you know, little towns. We found one town full of all health-conscious people and organic food shops and healthy food shops, and everything was alternative. We found another town which was really expensive, chic clothing and boutiques. I was like, oh my God, I love both of these towns equally. The two parts of my personality, the chic, glamorous one and the very hippie, healthy one, both of them were happy. We went to Byron Bay itself, which is a gorgeous little town with cinemas and cafes and surf shops and amazing beaches. We also drove around the countryside, and it's like green rolling hills and lush rainforest, and Alan couldn't believe it because it was fruit growing in the trees, and he's come from Hawaii, he's used to fruit growing everywhere. And here the climate is very similar. They have macadamias, they have bananas, just abundant. And we just realized everything we want in our place of abode was there in that shire. Stunning beaches, stunning countryside, health-conscious people, alternative thinking, but also some nice boutiques, art galleries, a lot of art, a lot of creativity. It was everything we want. So anyway, we're very excited. We don't know when we're going to move there or how it's going to happen, how we're going to find the money to buy a house or whatever, but at least now we know which part of the world we'd like to be in. So that's the most exciting thing that's come out of this trip for me. And I really noticed the change in my energy there. As I said, I was not stressed and agitated. Alan and I were both very relaxed. I was rested there, and when we got back here a couple of days ago, I woke up the next morning exhausted again, like wiped out. So that's been interesting. So I've learned a lot about myself and how my body copes. It was interesting in Byron because the 2 nights that we were there, we were sort of on holiday, so we went out for dinner both nights. And, I'm still on phase 3, I'm being very strict with the low carb, and it was a bit challenging at the restaurants, but I managed to find some beautiful, really fancy fish dishes with vegetable, and I managed to avoid any sugar, and I felt good. The last thing that has been interesting is that I've noticed that I do get very tired here, and I don't think it's just the energy. And we've done some dowsing into it, and some feeling into it, some intuitive thinking about it, and we've realised that the reason I get tired is because I go into all this mental activity, writing, and then when I want to have a rest, I go and read my book, or watch TV, or, do something mental. And what I've realised since I've been here is I need to balance my mental with some physical. And so when I take my breaks now, I'm either going and having a sleep, or I'm going for a walk on the beach, I'm rolling around on the floor and doing some Feldenkrais movements, which is kind of the movement modality that I'm a practitioner of. A bit like yoga, but much gentler and much more amazing. Or I go and cook, or I bake, or something that gets me out of my head using my body. And I'm noticing since I've been doing that, like maybe doing an hour and a half of writing, then going and, sleeping, or rolling around on the floor, or cuddling my man, or baking, or going for a walk, something that's not using any mental activity, and I'm sort of going back and forth between mental, physical, I'm waking up much more rested. I'm a lot less exhausted. My concentration is much better. So I feel very excited at learning this about myself, because now I'm not going to have to worry so much about what time I go to bed, because I don't think my exhaustion was really coming from going to bed late. It turns out it was coming from spending much too much time doing head stuff and not enough time in my body. So that's a big one for me. So I feel very blessed to be here in this beautiful white apartment. I feel like I've been given advanced training on how to manage my energy while I'm in this nightclub land that's all around me. It's teaching me how to stay in my center, how to keep my emotions calm, how to stay in my heart. I feel incredibly excited to have discovered the place that I want to live. Oh my God. I feel really excited that I've written 5 chapters of my novel since being here. I've been writing, and it's coming along really well. And obviously I feel incredibly grateful for the HCG. Every time I pull on my new jeans or one of my new outfits here, and it fits me, and it's amazing. So I feel very grateful for the whole thing, and I just want to send all of you big hugs. I've been missing all of you. I haven't had a chance to watch any vlogs because I haven't been online, except for now, the whole time I've been here. So I have no idea how you're all going, but I'm hoping you're all going really well. When I get home, I'll find some time and I'll catch up on some vlogs, I promise. Until then, leave some comments for me, and I'll try and log in sometime over the next few days, or maybe when we're in the airport, and I'll read them. Anyway, guys, big hugs to you all. I'm missing you all, and I can't wait to reconnect when I get back.